Hello and welcome to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert. I'm joined here by
Frank Jones.
Come on.
Stephen Bagliacca.
And
Aunt Galati, hi.
Hey everybody, how you doing today?
We're back.
Yep.
Better than ever.
Did you ever see that movie, We're Back, a Dinosaur Story?
Yeah.
That might be on my next movie list.
That's actual history.
So, could you do Jurassic Park and say, like, there's dinosaurs in it and they were a part of
It
history?
depends how much we want to stretch the concept of this show. Like, how far are we willing to push the envelope?
We just start talking about iGen and how they formed and
Right.
shit.
But, like, let's say Jurassic Park became a thing next week.
Right?
Like, we have dinosaurs now. We're going to put them in a park for you to see. Technically, we probably could go visit the park and then do Jurassic Park to critique the differences.
Wouldn't we just
right?
talk that we saw real dinosaurs?
Yeah,
Or
I
just
think
lose our
that-
shit that we...
I think the show would be irrelevant at that point if we had dinosaurs walking around.
Time to change the concept.
Yeah.
We're worried about fucking Godzilla and shit.
That's one of the greatest sentences anyone's ever said. We're worried about fucking Godzilla and shit.
That would be in like the R-rated version of Godzilla starring like Will Smith, right?
He don't curse. He's squeaky clean.
I don't think we could create a giant, like, skyscraper-sized dinosaur that shoots beams from his mouth, though. So...
I mean, we did create well, it depends which mythology you're going by. Originally, Godzilla was created by nukes.
Oh, what is he in the Matthew Broderick one, which is the only real one?
Yeah. No one.
That's the only one I care about.
He's just, I think it's the same thing. Like he's an iguana that was hit with radiation.
It was
not in a single
the
one
French.
of the other ones. So.
The French did it in that.
Jean Reno.
It was Jean Reno
And Janet Reno.
and the worm guy. Janet Reno not featured in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. However, Puff Daddy is.
It's the only important thing is that he's in it. Well, at least the soundtrack.
All right.
He wasn't actually in the
No, he's
real-
not in the movie.
Okay.
I wish he was, though. That'd be cool.
Da-na-na.
Excuse me. We had the guy from The Simpsons, though.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
I got the garden. I always bring that up.
You love that movie.
It's one of my. It's so bad. It's great. I think I brought it up on this show, didn't I?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. We were talking about Independence Day. We were talking about Roland Emmerich.
It is always raining in that movie. Godzilla.
Yes.
Like it's just for some reason for like a few days straight, it's just like pouring.
Did you ever see Stigmata from way back in the 90s?
Yes.
That's another Rain movie.
Mm-hmm.
Name your favorite Rain movie. Go.
Rain Man.
Brian.
Oh man, this is tough. 7.
Is that a Rain movie?
It rains
It
throughout
is
the
raining.
whole
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, it's raining a lot. It's shitty weather.
From what I understand, the new Batman is nothing but rain.
It's
too.
very rainy. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I'm not seeing it.
You're not seeing
Why?
it?
I will not go and see it in
Oh,
theaters.
let's talk about this. This sounds like a hill to die on. What is it?
Oh, this is my.
The story of a girl?
This is the story of a girl. I do not like Batman as a character. I will enjoy a Batman story from time to time, but I do not like the character, so I will not go and watch a Batman movie in theaters.
Will you watch it in a house? Will you watch it with a mouse?
Will you watch it on a boat? Will you watch it crossing a moat?
I will watch it with the goat. Me and Tom Brady, actually, we're going to watch it together. I just don't.
Would you kiss Tom Brady on his lips like his child does?
Can I say yes? Yeah, I just honestly, there's like this is like the 5th Batman reboot, and like we're darker and grittier than before. If they really wanted me to go see a Batman movie, do like Adam West style and make it fun. Have the balls to do that.
Well, they did do that. It was Batman and Robin, right?
But they weren't meaning for that to be like camp. You know, they were trying to make something cool.
I disagree, because there is a moment in that movie. There's a movie I know very well. Actually, it's Batman Forever, not Batman and Robin, where they land on the Riddler's island he's created. And there's a holy Holy Toledo Batman type line from Robin. He says holy metal Batman, and it's the metal. It's holy. He says it, and it's a reference to the show.
Yeah, it's that's an homage though. You know, like I'm talking where you just do a full out like I'm not even saying you need to put him in the 1966 suit, where it's just Batman in like a satire with comedy and like you're making fun of the superhero genre in a way and like comic books and you're having fun with Batman.
That's a good idea.
Can we have a fun Batman movie?
I mean,
like,
we could write it.
Yeah, like
I have to criticize your critique though. Again. Oh. Because you'll come back for the same fucking Spider-Man movie over and over again.
Because this is the difference between.
I like Spider-Man.
That's it.
Well,
right.
well, the difference is Spider-Man's a character and Batman's not.
Batman's not a character.
Batman is not a character.
Okay, you can't say he's not a character, but you could say he's not a well-developed character.
This is.
I want to hear his case.
Okay, so this is my thing, and everyone because everyone loves Batman.
And you're a big comic book guy.
I love comics. I fucking still read comics. And by the way, don't fucking talk shit to me unless your ass is going down to the comic book shop buying new comics every Wednesday. Suck my dick if you're not buying new comics. You don't know shit.
You're talking to the audience now.
Yeah.
I've
turned
on. He knows we don't do that.
Yeah. I've turned on the audience. Yeah. Whatever episode this is, it's fucking on. Because I'm assuming they hate me because I don't like Batman.
The one way I know how to get more listeners is to threaten their lives.
Yeah.
Tell them hard truths that they don't want to hear. Yeah.
Like they're not real fans.
It works for Gerald Ford. I brought it back to history, see?
Brian the Batman fans drop dead. Okay, so I don't think he is a good character for several reasons.
Okay.
First of all, the way he's been... I'll just say this real quick.
Who created Bob Crane, right?
Bob Crane?
Ichabod Crane created him back in Sleepy Hollow. And go.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
so
where am I going with that? It's nothing.
Wait. Let it fester.
It doesn't feel good to bomb, does it?
No.
Yeah. Feel it.
At least I caught myself before I went too far.
You just honestly, when you're gonna bomb, just embrace it.
Lean into it.
Yeah, you gotta be like the dude in Doctor Strangelove, just riding the fucking nuke to oblivion. First of all, Batman is a ripoff of Zorro.
Okay.
Who's the first like kind of billionaire crime fighter style
Zorro, not
dude.
a comic book character.
No, but he's a pulp character.
Right. 1800s?
The book, I believe the first book is 1800s, yes.
Okay. And Batman's what, the 30s?
Batman
20s?
is 1930s, created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. So
I never heard of Bill Finger.
Bill Finger did a lot of the original ideas, and the family had to sue to get it recognized. I was actually going to do it as one of my historical things at one point.
Oh. Well,
but
it's still out there.
Yeah.
Like the truth.
Yeah.
Did he do a lot of fingering? Not just sexually.
Only
just
to Freddy.
He sounds like
all
a gangster.
general-
Hey, I'm Bill Finger.
Like he puts up the finger guns and
Hey, Bill Finger.
So anyway, I don't.
Billy the Finger.
So basically, there's been a problem with Batman since Frank Miller let him beat the shit out of Superman in Dark Knight Returns.
That was in the 80s.
That was in the 80s. Since that moment, and you know, it really got bad in the 2000s.
You don't like that.
I don't like that because I don't like man overcoming God. And that's what you're doing there. Like, so if you think of Dark Knight Returns, like it starts out where it's like man against himself. Then he fights like kind of the government and the police. And then by the last book, the fourth book, he's fighting God. He's fighting Superman, and he wins.
Superman's an alien. It's not
Yeah.
God.
You know, but that's like what
Right.
they're. That's what
I
they're,
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's what they're getting at.
He's beating the
I
unstoppable.
don't
force.
like the idea of. Like, I don't think Punisher should be able to beat Superman either. These are regular people, you know? Like, and like.
You think it takes away from Superman?
First of all, DC absolutely hates the character of Superman because they've done nothing but punk him for fucking, you know, since that moment when
He
they
got
had
raped.
Batman beat his ass. They had him raped in a comic book recently. I didn't read that book. He sent me the panel online. I'm mostly a Marvel guy, full disclosure, but Superman is my favorite DC character. I don't like the way Batman is written because they've done what I refer to, and I'm pretty sure other people refer to it too, as the Bat God, where Batman has already thought of every single scenario and he already knows everything that's going to happen.
He's omnipotent.
And he's always going to win. And Batman with enough prep time can beat anybody because he doesn't have a weakness. And I think that is incredibly boring, first of all, as like writing, because I already know basically your hero is always going to win the story, 99% of the time, right?
Right.
There's very few times when you're reading anything in fiction and it has a downer ending like that. Then my problem on top of it is that there's no actual stakes for Batman. So like I have a writing theory, right? Because I do write and like I come up with stories and shit like that. And my writing theory is that if you took any character down to their bare elements, right, and you removed like let's use Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park as an example, right?
Okay.
And Alan Grant, sorry. And let's say that he does not go to Jurassic Park and there is no dinosaurs, right?
And he's an archaeologist.
And he's just an archaeologist. The movie is now a story about his relationship with Ellie, and him either overcoming
Struggling as an archaeologist,
and
yeah.
him overcoming his hatred and desire to not have kids.
Right.
And it's about their relationship. And
So you take the dinosaurs out of Jurassic Park, that story still exists.
that story still exists. If you take the Batman out of a Bruce Wayne story, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. It's a dude in a fucking cave alone with a
How
butler.
many movies could you do what you just
You
did?
could,
that way?
any good, and it's not the movie you're doing it to, it's the character. Because I like some Batman movies and I like Batman stories, but the character has nothing to him. And if you take other
So if you take Batman out of Batman, there's nothing there. That's
There's-
not shocking to anyone, though.
but if you did that for other characters, they still have arcs and they still have stories.
Let's do it to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay, you have a dude who's seeking a girl, and it's basically a teenage like love story rom-com thing, and that would be the story
With Mary Jane.
or Gwen Stacy, depending on what version of Spider-Man you're going by.
Couldn't you argue?
You have a geek trying to get the girl.
Couldn't you argue that if you take the Batman out of a Batman story, that Bruce Wayne is a man that has suffered immense loss and has trouble actually maintaining relationships because of that
The
loss?
dead parents.
But there's
That's a great point. He
but
just did it.
hold on, no, because, and this is why, because there's nothing else there. It's just him alone with the butler. He's a recluse who's not going out and not interacting with society. He doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have.
He's a millionaire.
That's kind of
like,
a story in
playboy,
itself,
right?
No, he's not a playboy because
He's not a playboy, but he's running a company.
his life.
He's only doing that as a cover to be Batman.
Yeah.
That's not really something he cares about. There's nothing he cares about besides being Batman. It's thin. It's just thin. He's just
it's a thin character.
He's a thin character. It's what he is. There's no personal relationships. There's no
You
personal
could do that
stakes.
with a ton of heroes from comic books.
Yeah,
It's
I think like most of them are like that. Right? Like look at Superman. What has he got?
Superman
Is
actually
it
is.
always just a relationship?
No, Superman's
an immigrant
character is an immigrant story. He's basically an illegal alien trying to fit in a society where he really doesn't belong, and that's the story of Superman. When you distill like the powers and all the bullshit away,
I've never gotten that vibe from Superman.
that's what Superman
all.
is like in his best stories.
Really?
Yes,
I'll
it's
take
about
your word for it. I
it's
don't know
about
this
an
stuff
out,
as
it's,
well as you,
it's about
obviously.
an outsider, And if you do this to any story, like you could do this to any action hero or anything, and there's something
I'd
there.
like this exercise. What's Jaws about without the shark?
So Jaws without the shark
It's man
is
against state.
different. It's different Jaws against the shark because we're talking about characters and not movie,
Okay,
right? So
yeah,
they're
right.
different things. Like
All right. So who is Chief Brody without the shark?
yeah, so Chief Brody is a wounded cop, right?
Right.
Who had to leave his town because didn't he shoot a kid?
I no.
Something happened where he left his
They
job.
left New York and went to the town. He's afraid of the water.
I thought it's implied that like he did some bad shit or something happened to him.
I don't think so.
But in the book, he has like his wife has an affair with Hooper and shit.
Yes, that's true. That's not in the movie.
That's not in the movie. The movie's not focused on that. So in the movie, it's like you have a small town, you have a big city cop now in a small town, and he's dealing with like the mayor and like all this other
Right.
shit, you know?
Right. He's adjusting to small town
It would be
politics.
about
out of
his
water.
relationship.
Fish out of
Right.
water.
Characters and relationships are what matter for stories. You know? And when you do that to good characters, you know.
I think you made a good case for yourself in your Batman hatred.
And that is why I don't think Batman is a good character. He's not compelling to me. And the reason for that is like let's say you compare him to Tony Stark, right?
That's Iron Man?
Iron Man. And you compare him to Tony Stark. They're both billionaire superheroes, right? Mm-hmm. Tony Stark has personal relationships. He has alcoholism that he must
does Batman. Like,
but he has things he must overcome. No, because Bruce Wayne would not go out if he's not pretending to be Batman. He's not trying to run a successful company. He's not interacting with people. He's not a philanthropist. Everything he does is just a cover to be Batman.
Batman is the real man, and Bruce Wayne is the superhero.
And here is my counter argument to his point that he hates Batman, and I try telling him that Batman is not about Batman. It's about the villains. The villains are the main characters of Batman.
Yeah, I like the villains.
Yeah. I think that Batman probably has better villains than most comics.
I'm not saying the villains aren't good. And
No,
I'm not saying I don't like a Batman story.
Yeah, you hate the character of Batman. I'm saying
Now you think the Joker's a great character.
Joker's a
Joker's
fantastic
character because they focused on the villain stories and characters, and Batman is just...
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Joker have like nothing to him other than he's crazy?
No. The Joker represents like society. So the thing about the Joker is he represents different things depending on what version and what you're doing with him. Like if you think of Heath Ledger's Joker, he represents like chaos and anarchy, and he's like a totem for terrorism.
Okay.
That whole movie is about Bush.
Yes.
Batman in that movie is George W. Bush.
Right. We've discussed this before. I
Yes.
know everyone in the audience just went, "What the fuck is he talking about?" But
Yes.
Maybe
you have convinced me of that in the past.
Maybe
Yes.
we'll touch upon that another time.
Yeah, we spent 20 minutes on this.
We got to get to the whole point of the show.
Yeah. I hope you're still with us.
But yes, Batman is not a great.
He's not a character I
yeah.
like. I don't think he's a good character. If you like him, I'm not taking that away from you. You can like that character. I just don't think he's good. It's not going to affect your fandom. You'll be okay, I promise. Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character. If you don't like him and you don't think he's a good character, I don't give a fuck. We will talk now kind of briefly about another one of my favorite fictional characters, probably my number 2. James Bond, 007.
Okay.
Obviously, he is a fictional character, so we are going to be talking about what is referred to as Stalin's 007, Richard Sorge.
Sorge.
Yeah.
This is a person I've heard of.
Yes, he is Stalin's 007. He was a German dude, kind of born to the bourgeoisie. He went and fought in World War I, where he was wounded. He started the war as a brutal German nationalist, right-winger.
Supported the Kais.
Yep. After getting wounded, he became an ardent communist. Mm-hmm. Once he became a communist in Germany, he could not hold down jobs because he kept espousing his political beliefs, kept getting fired from everywhere. He decided to move to Russia as the Soviet Union was forming. By the way, I didn't say this. He had a German father and a Russian mother.
Did he speak Russian?
Probably a little, yeah. If he moved there, I imagine so. While he moves to Russia, he graduates. He gets like degrees and shit, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to be a spy for us. Your cover is going to be an international journalist, and we're going to send you to places." So he goes back to Germany, and he gets a job at a German newspaper as a journalist. That's his cover, right? And he infiltrates the Nazi party, and he starts spying. And he's just spying in Nazi Germany. Eventually, he goes back, and they're like, yo.
This is the 30s?
This is the 30s, yeah. They're like, what we want you to do now is we want you to go to Shanghai, and we want you to spread communism. And we want you
That's an odd place to send someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainland, and they want him to spread...
uprising in the empire?
To start an uprising in Shanghai and to get them to try to become communists.
The Soviets are, especially at this period, are very well renowned for the spy networks. Like, the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, that shit. They knew about Pearl Harbor before Pearl Harbor happened.
That's this guy.
He was there.
It's because of him. We're going to get to that. He, like, this guy, like every spy person says, he had the best spy ring in history. He's the most successful spy ever with the intel he got. He goes to China, and he just starts spreading the seeds of communism throughout there, right? While he's in Shanghai. While he's there, he meets this Japanese dude, Osaki. Osaki is, like, kind of a news anchor there, like a broadcaster. Him and Sorge become buddies, right? They're like, yeah. He's like, I really don't like this imperialistic shit Japan's doing.
He's a communist.
He's like, I want to be a communist too. He's like, awesome.
Fucking
You're
Reds.
gonna be my guy. Sorge goes back to Russia for a bit. He had divorced his first wife already, gets his second wife, right? He's married for the second time. This comes in at the end.
Okay.
All right. He's there, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go back. He goes back to Japan. Oh, by the way, need to say this about him. He fucks everything that moves.
He's one of those guys.
He is known to be extremely handsome and good looking. and he...
Why are we always talking about studs?
Because I feel like uggos never rise up.
Yeah.
They never become anything. Guys like us, we're just schlubs.
Look
who
at
just...
Churchill, though.
He's not a looker.
No.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
You got to do some like really brutal shit to be remembered if you're not handsome at this point.
This guy goes to Japan now. He's slanging dick all over the place. Osaki helps him learn the ways of Japan, right? While there, he's working, for the...
He doesn't exactly blend in Japan, I'd imagine.
Well, you have to remember, there's German ambassadors there and stuff.
Ah. Is he pretending to be German?
He is working for a German newspaper,
Oh, he is
pretending to
German.
be a Nazi.
I see. Okay.
And what he does is he will openly, while he's in Japan, talk shit about Stalin and Hitler. He'll talk shit about them both. And because he's doing this, people are like, well, no one that's pretending to be a spy
Would do that.
would openly talk shit about Hitler.
Right.
You'd want to be rah, rah, rah Hitler, so everyone believes he's a real dude. And like, oh, he also hates Stalin. He's a sane person. Right? And he's doing this. He becomes buddies with this German ambassador, Ott. I believe Stephen Ott. They become buddies. Like, they're inseparable. He uses Ott for tons of information.
And he has no idea he's being played.
Yup. And what he'll do is he'll feed him information from Osaki. So he thinks that, like, yo, this guy's helping us. He's like with us.
Is it good information or is it bullshit?
There's some good shit, like,
Right.
but
I
it's,
imagine there has to be some truth
exactly.
if you're going to make a good cover.
Exactly. So Ott's in love with this guy because he makes Ott look good, right? Because Ott will send back reports. Ott eventually starts letting Sorge write his reports going back to Germany. That's how much he trusts him.
Wow.
He's like, you're in charge. Ott is married. Sorge sees his wife.
Oh no.
And he just can't.
He's got to get in it.
And he's got to fuck her.
Gotta.
He's got to slang that dick.
Yep.
What do you think happens next?
I'm gonna say he gets caught.
Does this blow his cover?
I suppose his cover. Yeah.
No. Ott is okay with it. Ott
is a loser.
Ott is one of history's greatest cucks.
Oh no.
He's
what
up
are
there
you
with George
doing?
Harrison.
Yeah.
What happened with George Harrison?
Oh, Eric Clapton was banging fucking George Harrison's wife, and then George Harrison went and wrote like massive love songs about her while this was happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, George. Oh, no.
Like Something is about her while she was fucking Eric Clapton.
Oh,
and
no.
You know what else is funny? In that Beatles documentary, doesn't the new one, doesn't John Lennon say to George Harrison, I'll replace you with Clapton?
Does he? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, apparently he says that to him.
boy,
When George Harrison's like, I'll quit the band. You know.
Jeez.
So Ott is okay with him fucking his wife. And in fact, went on record later being like, he was so good looking, I knew it was an inevitability. And I hope this just runs its course and ends eventually. Like, he gets tired of fucking my wife.
Oh my God.
Wow. Was he fucking him too?
That is not in history, but I definitely have my suspicions.
Yeah,
Wow.
because you don't just do that.
Just let another man fuck your wife.
Like
steal your job. He pretty much usurped his identity.
Yeah.
He's writing the reports.
Yeah.
like I said, this dude is one of history's biggest cucks, without a doubt. This is what he's known for. So, by the way, I want to say this.
Butterwood.
Sorge, these aren't exactly Bond girls he's fucking.
What are they, like Japanese hookers?
No, they look like
Geishas?
they look like
You've seen them?
there's some pictures of some of them. They're not exactly good looking. They look like
He goes piggin'?
they look like grandmas kind of. Not hot grandmas like
What?
yours, Aunt, but
Right,
like
yes.
but like other grannies.
So he has a taste.
Both of my grandmothers are no longer with us.
But the English one was a looker. I can tell you're so annoyed by this.
Not annoyed at all.
No, it just they look like so you ever see a picture of your grandmother from like the 40s?
Yes.
Yeah, they
They-
look like my grandma.
They look like that.
Not Greta Garbo.
They never look like super attractive. They look like homely almost. I don't know.
Because they're regular people. They're not movie stars.
So
Yeah.
he was going for the average lass.
Yeah.
I think they were less than average.
He was going for the less than average lass.
I think they were less than average. Like I'm just saying, there's no Denise Richards, Sophie Marceau.
Yeah, but there never is, unless you're the great Pete Davidson, who gets brought up every day.
You know
on
what
this
though?
show.
When you're called Stalin's James Bond, and I'm watching a documentary on you, I have certain levels of expectations that must be met.
Well, anything that comes from a communist state isn't going to be top notch.
That's true.
So you got to assume that besides his info skills, his other skills might have been
You
lacking.
mean you don't get turned on by starving Venezuelans?
Nothing gets me more aroused than seeing
I love your hunger.
broken down cement
Okay.
buildings.
So
Your architecture is so depressing. Yes.
More blocks.
it's so bleak. I love the sameness.
You see one architect was like, I'm just going to make a curve right here. They shoot him on the spot. On the spot, not even thinking.
Ott eventually tells Sorge about the Comintern Pact.
The Com Intern Pact?
Communication pact, is that what that is?
What is that?
It is the pact between Germany, Italy, and Japan. The pact that officially forms the Axis
Axis powers.
powers. And Ott, Sorge knows about this, and he tells Stalin this is happening. He's like, "Yo, they're forming together. Like,
Right.
get ready. You're going to be invaded." Stalin says, "Fuck you. I'm ignoring
Yes,
you."
I have heard this before. That Stalin 100% was told like 1,000 times that the Germans were going to break the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and invade the Soviet Union, and he just didn't believe it because he thought Hitler was a good guy.
Yup. And Sorge had intel that directly told him. And he's like, "Yo, like we're going to be invaded."
Right. It's happening.
He's ignored. He then finds a document from a defector to Japan from
where?
the Soviet Union.
The fascist Soviet
he just doesn't want to be in the
Soviet Union.
And he gives them intel that the Red Army will be ran over quick. He's like, if you guys come, you're like...
He's trying to urge the Japanese to invade from the east.
Yes.
I see.
And he's like, you do this, it's game over for the Russians. Like, forget about China, get out the Russians.
Right. That's really unfeasible, though, in the grand scheme of things.
He keeps warning Moscow. Eventually, Sorge keeps getting intel, and he discovers that Japan is waiting for one of three things to happen before they attack Russia.
What are the three things?
One of them is China to fall.
Not going to happen.
To be honest, I didn't write down the three things, and I forgot. I wish I remembered.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm sure it's like America
ridiculous
reopens
nonsense,
the
yeah.
embargoes.
It was things that were never going to happen.
Right.
Up, just by the first one, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
know
was,
where this is
it was
going.
things that were never going to happen.
Of like the Germans advance past the Volga
Yeah.
and capture the oil fields and shit, probably.
Sorge eventually says Japan is not going to attack you until minimum 1942. At the earliest. That's the earliest it could possibly happen. Take all your shit away from Japan
And throw it west.
Throw it west. Get ready for Germany. It's coming. Stalin says, fuck you. Right?
Right.
He's like, okay, this is, this is
It's a
ignored.
losing battle. Yeah.
Obviously, we know
what happened.
Germany invades them, right?
He's got the intel. He's got good intel.
Yeah, he's got great
He's been
intel.
right every time.
Yeah.
Yes, he's flawless. And he has spies everywhere because he set up this massive spy ring, right?
And we all know where the Japanese went in 1942. Like any
Yes.
December of 41, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
quite almost right on the money.
Perfect. And I believe he mentioned the Pearl Harbor plans as well. Like, he had the plans to Pearl Harbor, and he knew it was going to happen. This is how he gets caught, which is obviously how we know he exists.
He fucked Stalin's wife.
He goes
Then
back.
we wouldn't know. Then he would have just vanished.
So, obviously, they have spy rings, right? He has his boy Osaki. Osaki has a protege named Miyagi.
Mr.
I guess he is a Mr. Miyagi. So the Japanese secret police catch this dude.
He was waxing
He was
waxing on.
They catch Mr.
He's about
Miyagi.
to get caught. What do you think he does?
He rats them all out.
No, he jumps out of a fucking window, right out the window, falling to the floor beneath.
Does he die?
No, he breaks every bone in his body and lives.
Why is that funny?
It's just because he tried to save the information.
And they,
Yes.
they
And he
got
just
it out of him.
Splat.
They got it out of him.
So he after he broke every bone in his body himself,
Living in utter agony.
like they don't even need to torture him at that point. Like
You would think that maybe they'd have like a poison vial or something. Like
a cracked tooth.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, so he breaks every bone in his body. They go down and get him. They're like, yeah, we're bringing you in. And like while he's in the hospital, he flips.
Beating his leg.
Yeah, he flips on Osaki. Once they get Osaki, the dominoes keep falling. They get to Sorge.
Yep.
They catch Sorge. They keep him for like a week or two. And eventually he's like, yeah, I'm a spy. You got me.
The jig is up.
Ott and this other German dude they were friends with are like devastated that they've been played so bad. They know their jokes.
I let this man fuck my wife.
Yeah.
Did they kill themselves? Because honestly, I would fear for my life if you're
Well,
that
you
person.
can't go home.
Yeah, you can't. You might just kill yourself.
Ott was sent somewhere.
He was, yeah.
I don't
figured that.
remember where. He like fucked himself so bad. But just goes to show you, don't be a cuck, kids.
Don't be a cop.
Finally, a good lesson.
Yeah.
We give valuable life lessons on this
So,
show.
so anyway, Sorge, while he's in prison, befriends like his investigator, this Japanese dude. And they have
Friending everyone.
like a respect for each other, and he tells his story, right? The Japanese go to Stalin. They're like, "Hey, we got your top spy. Let's do a spy exchange, and you give us a guy back, we'll give you a guy back." Stalin goes, "I don't know this guy.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck him." And he's like, "They're like, what do you mean?" No, I don't know him.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, you have to.
So the guy, Sorge, right? Remember, he has a wife back in the Soviet Union.
Oh, no. Not anymore.
Stalin takes her, throws her in a gulag in Siberia, dead within like 2 months.
Oof.
So dark.
Sorge
Communists.
is just waiting to be rescued by Stalin.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. And eventually he is executed. Years later, in 1964, he is honored as a hero of the Soviet Union for his vital information. And
Stalin
they built
is dead at
statues
this
to him.
Yeah,
They built statues to him and his legacy, and
Fuck
he is
them.
regarded as a hero and posthumously given awards.
Canonized.
Fuck
And now,
them.
one of the things I heard today was Stalin could not let Sorge back into Moscow.
No, he's too dangerous.
No,
He may have flipped.
forget about flipping. The reason he could not let him back is because Sorge has the information available that he told Stalin all the shit that was going to happen that Stalin did not follow
It
through
got
on.
millions of people killed.
Yes.
Wow.
because they could have defended better and been ready, and Stalin didn't listen to him because he's a shithead. And everything that happened there is directly because...
Yeah, he could have saved millions of lives.
Yes, and that is, they say that's the real reason why Sergei could not come back.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great point. What a great story. Lots of story, Mark.
What's the story, Mark?
And that is the
Very good.
That is the story of Richard Sergei, who pretty interesting dude. There's a lot more to him. Look into him, but slanging his dick around, spying, like, and people who like.
That's not who James Bond is based on, though, right?
No, he's based on a different guy.
Right.
This guy is
British
called,
guy.
This guy is called Stalin's James Bond. No, he's based on fuck. I think he's a Czech. I think he's a Czech dude.
Wasn't he in Spain and shit? Like during...
You're thinking of how the book was written. Ian Fleming based Bond partially on himself,
right,
and this other dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Ian Fleming said Sergei is the greatest spy who ever lived. Which, when you think of the quality of information, it has to be him. Or well, honestly, I guess the greatest spy who ever lived is someone we don't know about, right?
You'd assume, right? Yeah.
Like
safe bet. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't get caught, you're doing a better job. Abraham Woodhull. Stephen, I
Yes.
believe you're up.
I once again, in the most Steve fashion,
British aristocrat.
I brought a British aristocrat who lost their shit. And honestly, this isn't so much losing their shit as much as it was a really cool person. Lady Hester Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope's wife.
Yeah. Born 1776, the best year in history. Died in 1839. This lady was a British traveler and explorer. Early British traveler and explorer. In fact, 100 years before Lawrence of Arabia. She explored the Middle East.
Okay.
Alone?
Went there with some companions.
Okay.
Left them.
When you say companions, do you mean they were fucking? Was her brother with her? Because if so, then we know she was having sex.
Brother was, I believe the brother
If I've learned
was with.
if I've learned
This
any,
show is teaching me so much shit, dude.
if I've learned anything from history, it's that if
British
you're before
aristocrats.
1900 and
Yeah.
you're with your family, you're fucking.
It's the British aristocrat way, okay? Especially when you go off the deep end, you're fucking everything. I believe that her brother was with her early on, but they separated later. They did not. I don't think they fucked, but who knows? From
Let's hope so.
the pattern, there's a 90% chance that was happening.
I'd take money on it.
It would be a safe bet. She decides to go take a trip around the Mediterranean and gets into a really bad shipwreck in which the only way they survived was the crew rowed to a nearby island and survived in like this windmill for like days. And after that, she was like, well, if I could survive this, I could survive anything. I'm going to the Middle East.
Why?
Because she wants to be an explorer.
Okay.
She was one of the first
Woman explorer.
woman archaeologists, really. Later on, yeah. She was regarded as royalty in the Middle East.
Why? Was it because she had blonde hair and blue eyes?
They've never seen a woman, a European woman before.
I know it.
So when she arrives, what do? You're a goddess. You're a queen. She's like, fuck yeah, I am. Crown her, and she's revered as this goddess.
It's just something different.
So she follows the Ghostbusters method. When someone asks you if you're a god,
Exactly.
you say yes.
Exactly. And people actually quote that a lot. She would dress as a man while traveling to the Middle East as well, so it wouldn't draw too much attention until she reached a specific place, which was Palmyra.
Where is that?
Palmyra in
Syria.
1813. She crossed the desert, 60 miles, unmarked territory, which was known as one of the more dangerous paths you could take, because along that was a lot of bandits, dangerous things.
Real quick,
Yeah.
we got to say, like, we're talking about this so casually.
So casually.
And think about how ballsy it is for a woman at this time. Like, pre-woman's lib, like, there's no women's rights. Like, for a woman to take up and do something like this.
She has bodyguards.
I'm sure she's not
She
alone,
was
but to lead
she
an
was with,
expedition.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like you never hear that.
Bedouin brigadans.
The Bedouin tribes.
Yes, she was with a few Bedouins who were basically also bandits.
Yeah.
But they were hired
These are
bandits.
the people you see in the movie Lawrence of Arabia. They're like riding around. It's Turkish territory, but
Yes.
it's completely unorganized, and it's just dudes riding around the desert, like living a tribal lifestyle.
They would
had
rob
lived for
wealthy people.
thousands of years.
Yeah,
Right.
They would just rob wealthy people.
Yes.
That's what they would do. And she was a wealthy European, so
Which tribe is that? Is that the one where
It's the Hawatat.
that's the Wadi Rum, right? The Wadi Rum people.
I'm just guessing. That's just
Okay.
from the movie. But it's not that. Syria, Palmyra is a little further north. It's actually interesting. It brings up another famous historical woman from Palmyra, Queen Zenobia.
she ruled right before
No, this was
Stanhope arrived.
This was in the Roman times. This was in the 2nd century.
She
Third century.
this was once ruled by the legendary queen Zenobia. Yeah.
It was her. It was her. She broke the empire, the city, and turned it into a new empire that stole land from the Romans.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So Hester was the first European woman to step foot in that city
Ever.
Huh.
From them, your queen. She was basically treated as a queen, as royalty from then, which I thought was pretty awesome. Then
I'm waiting for the horrible part.
there really isn't that much horrible part until later on in her life.
Okay.
But like one little tidbit is that she, whether on purpose or by accident, started a war between two local tribes where 300 people were killed.
Just because of how she looked.
Just because how she looked and how
She Helena Troy? How
she
hot
was,
is this chick?
she was a badass. She was a badass.
She's definitely above Sorge's pay grade.
So
Did
was
she ever meet
also-
Lord Byron?
They were contemporaries.
She's
She's older than
she
him,
did.
He definitely fucked her.
I think he said specifically that she was like more eccentric than he was. She was a little too crazy for Lord Byron.
So they fucked, and he's like, "This
She was
is."
also 6 feet
She
tall.
was like sticking her thumb up his ass, and he's like, "I
I
whoa,
can't do this. Yeah.
this is too much even
She
for
was
me."
6 feet tall. She was a spitfire. She was a badass, and it's just Lord Byron was looking for the sister.
Yeah.
That's all.
His half sister.
His half sister. She was the first woman to enter the anti-female monastery of Saint Anthony.
Why'd they let her in?
Once again,
that in Italy?
she forced her way in.
Let me in.
Yeah, and she was just a badass. She had a lot of followers that were scary. She was traveling with bandits.
Okay.
She also
Enough of this hogwash. I don't know why I
deciphered
turned her
an
into
Italian treasure map and started the digging up of a lost city.
So now she's Indiana Jones.
She's Indiana Jones. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a little bit based off
Who
of
would
it.
you cast her in a movie?
That's tough.
I have my
Charlize
guess.
Thrawn.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Scarlett Johansson.
Both are good. Both are good.
We need a
That's
blonde,
not-
though.
You need a
She
blonde.
won't.
Scarlett Johansson's blonde.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you could dye blonde. You could dye.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that was the first modern archaeology excavation of the Holy Land. She started this.
Wow.
Now, for the later years, when she
Before the dark times.
kind of
the Empire.
lost her mind. So her father taught her a little bit of alchemy and astrology.
Isn't alchemy all bullshit?
It's all bullshit. So she would mix these potions, and she'd have visitors come by because she was famous. She had a lot of clout. And she would start frantically rambling about the potion and throw it on you.
Did she roll for damage, like a 20-sided die?
Most likely, like she was 2 damage.
So she's a kook now.
She became a kook, and then she also became, as most aristocrats do, massively indebted to people.
Yeah, why do they do that?
I don't know why. But if you're an aristocrat and you
go on
lose your mind,
adventures.
you go on an adventure
And you
you
lose
go
all
into
your money.
debt.
Because I think, especially back then, you assume money is just always going to come in.
Yes.
And there's just zero financial responsibility. It's like we can
Yes.
always just take
Right.
someone over and get more.
That is like that's what the French Revolution like put to bed, was those type of guys. Like Lafayette in France is the richest guy in the country, and he just like throws money around like it's nothing, and sells off shit just to fund his own adventures. You know?
Yeah, I'm reading a book about this too, and that shit is definitely there. Like talking about this guy's in debt, this dude's in
Right.
debt.
Always.
And
like-
they always have like other people that manage their finances
Yep.
for them.
And they come up with like schemes trying to get out of it and
Yes.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they'll like start like getting like a sugar boat and stuff, you know?
Well, I don't think she had many schemes besides like plans of escape, because she at this point in her life she was living in, I think, Lebanon, or what is now Lebanon, and like she had this house on a hill, but she would dig tunnels, like escape tunnels, to get out of her house,
Just in case something
just in
happened.
case people came to get her, because she's in debt. She's a famous white woman where there's chaos going around constantly, because it wasn't really a stable area.
No.
So she
Especially where,
decides,
like she said she was born in 1776. By the time she's 30, like all of Europe is at war.
Yeah.
Including the Turks.
so she actually got out at a pretty good time
Yeah.
to do what she wanted to do, but it definitely wasn't the safest place.
Right.
So in her house, though, she had all these intricate tunnels and escape routes, she boarded up the outside. So much so that the only way you could see her, she shaved her head, so it didn't look like her, wore like hats and scarves and
She's
everything.
always in disguise.
She would open up like a little slat where only her arms could fit to hand her stuff and talk to, because she was so paranoid that people were after her.
Well, also she's among the Arab tribes, and
She's amongst dangerous people
they
at this time.
they don't like unveiled women. You know, she'd be a problem.
Yeah.
I
Well, she
suppose.
was walking around dressed as a man for a decent amount of time around the Middle East until she was actually revered as being this royalty.
Right.
Sadly, she locked herself in her house so badly that she couldn't get out. She ended up dying at home.
Nobody knew.
Luckily in her bed, but people knew she was in there, but she died there. She was old. She was
one of
sick.
those, like where they find the corpse.
Yeah.
6 weeks later, the
Yep.
mail's piling up outside in the
Yep.
slot. The TV's on; it's super loud.
People
The
were
cat
still
ate
people were still in communication with her.
Right.
But over time, it's like, all right, we didn't have to hear from her in a long time. But it took a little while to get in because it was so well boarded
But they couldn't infiltrate the
that
compound.
it took a little while. Well, at least you need a lot of people, you know. So that was the story of the quick story of Lady Hester Stanhope.
She never had kids or anything?
I don't believe so,
That's very interesting.
but she was a
Yeah.
traveler. She was a traveler and a
That's-
badass woman.
That's cool. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, me too. And I of course, you look her up. There's more detailed versions of everything. So,
Brian is showing me the doodle he's made for Richard Sorge.
oh, what does it look like? I can't see.
I don't know what I'm looking. It looks like Spain, with like a man drawing on a cave. What am I looking at, Brian?
So this is the gun
Spy
barrel
Network?
sequence from Bond, with Sorge in the middle, and he shot his gun, and the blood is coming down.
You know, it's an oval.
It looks like a map of Spain.
I can't draw.
I hope you're taking pictures of all those, because I really
Yeah, we'll
I want a
post them.
compilation of that.
Okay. So Anthony,
All right, so
you said you had a game.
I have another game, guys.
I'm the reigning champ.
Thank God.
Are you the reigning champ?
I won last game.
Okay. All right.
Well, didn't
This
get,
one
get him one. though.
Get him one.
Is
yeah, the first
along
one.
the same lines as the last one. I have created yet another top 10 list.
Okay,
Okay.
top 10's better than top 20. Which is nice.
We are doing today, my opinion, the top 10 most important and impactful battles in American history.
Oh, an American.
Oh.
Oof. Okay.
American
does
only.
Does this have to be on American soil?
No, it's just the
Just,
United
Americans
States has
involved.
participated in it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to start off?
I will
You could start off, but
Go
I already know what I want to do first.
first. Okay. Midway.
Midway is number 3.
Okay.
Number 3, the Japanese spear blunted, never to be regained.
Do you remember when I got drunk on New Year's Eve one time and I was banging on a piano singing a song
Yes.
about Midway?
Yes, I do.
I think we have a recording of that. One of us has a recording
Maybe,
of that.
maybe if we find it, we could put it at the end of the episode.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
is my number 3.
I would have said D-Day.
D-Day, the Operation Overlord, number 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
It's interesting.
The invasion of Europe.
Yeah.
Third one.
Guys both started off with World War II.
American Revolution.
Well,
Revolutionary War.
I'm next. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to, it's at the tip of my tongue, and I'm trying to think of the last battle in
If
the
I remember
war.
last time, you guys got like the top 4 or 5
Quick,
right away.
real quick.
Yeah.
You're mixing it up right now. So you got 3 and you got 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's at the tip of my tongue what the final battle of the war is, and Yorktown.
Yorktown is on my list, number 9.
Wow.
Okay.
The American
low.
Revolution.
That's low.
America exists now.
Yep. I have the next thing I would say.
Gettysburg.
Yep.
Gettysburg, of course, the largest, most bloody battle. Actually, no, I think there's more. I think there's one other one that's bloodier, but it is my number 1 as most important, most impactful. The Union is saved. Thank God.
Yep.
So we're 2 for 2 right now.
2 for
2
2.
each.
Two.
Yeah.
2 for 2. But
This is competitive. I like this.
Yeah.
yeah, this is where I'm going to start doing bad now.
Okay. This is getting a bit trickier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Battle of New Orleans.
Brian, great pick because that is number 6. The Battle
Okay.
of New Orleans. Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Saves the day from the British, secures the Louisiana Purchase.
So important for like everything that comes after.
Exactly.
Like
Western
yeah.
expansion happened because we won this battle.
It's like Rocky 2, you know, like except if Rocky won in the first one, you have to win the rematch to prove you're legit.
Great pick.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a hard one for you guys.
Okay.
Number 6. Very good, very good. How many we got left? We got 1, 2,
Well, I think it's 3-2 right now. So we have 5 left.
4, and 5. Yeah, we have 5
left.
5 left.
We haven't missed one yet. The pressure's on
I'm
you,
probably
Steve.
going to miss this one because I want to say
I think it's getting a little harder
it's
now.
getting harder.
Yeah.
Bunker.
Bunker Hill is a great guess. However, it is not on my list. There is one that happened
It's close.
right around that time.
Fuck you.
That is on my list.
Fuck you. Okay.
Are you counting Concord and Bunker Hill together?
No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He would have.
Concord.
Concord and
Fuck you.
Lexington
Fuck
is
you.
number 4. The shot heard around the world.
Fuck you. Pieces of shit.
Beaver's thoughts were stolen from him.
Yeah.
Bunker Hill was a great guess.
Thank you.
So that is. So I'm up 4-2, I believe.
4-2.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
So there's only 4 more left. These are
4 more left.
now I'm out of ideas. I would say
I have the next thing I would say.
I have Bay of Pigs.
Bay of Pigs is not on my list.
Damn it.
Oh, I should point out, all of these are American victories. Everything on my list.
Obviously.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm gonna let you repick because I've
No,
added that information.
No. That's
Okay,
fine.
all right. Bay of
Let
Pigs
him go.
is
Let
a
him go.
miss.
It's a miss.
Is a miss.
I am going to say Battle of the Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge, number 10. You got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do I have?
You've got the Bulge, you've got Yorktown, you've got New Orleans, and you've got Midway. Beaver has Gettysburg. Oh, you have Lexington and Concord as well.
Yes.
Beaver has Gettysburg.
D-Day.
He's got Operation Overlord, yeah. And is that it? You only got 2?
I think so because the last
Yeah.
2, one was a miss and the other one was stolen. Now I'm out of ideas. How many do we have left?
4. We have 4.
4 more.
We have 3 left.
We have 3 left. 3 left.
3.
Yes. And they are all from different wars.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured
All
that.
3 of them.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
No. Has not made the list.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's a little crazy,
I
dude.
will say this.
That's bad.
Nothing on this list is post the Second World War.
Yeah, well, we, it's not too good for us after that.
Right.
Well, that's why I thought it would have been on the list because it has such dire consequences.
Going forward, but they're still unfolding. We can't really judge, how brutal that was yet. And it
was pretty brutal.
And I'm not going. That's an
pretty
entire
brutal, dude.
entire war. I'm going by specific battles. Like if you just had the siege of Baghdad, that's
Sure,
a battle.
yeah.
So this, I don't think this is on here,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't think of a specific battle from this war. The Alamo?
That was the
Wasn't the Alamo was the battle?
Yeah, well, the Alamo is the battle, but that's part of the Texas Revolution. Yeah. I'm not going to count that as American.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put that on my list either way.
Okay.
I'll help you guys out a little bit. Every one of these is in the 1800s.
Okay.
I figured that.
No, I'm sorry. One of them is in the 17. One of them is in 17. The other two in the 18.
Oh, I got the next one. Easy.
Go ahead.
Trenton.
Close. No.
Valley Forge.
No.
Oh.
More impactful than both of those.
Really?
Yes.
Saratoga?
Saratoga. That is my number 2.
That's my boy.
Benedict Arnold?
Yeah, my boy.
That's your boy?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Why is Benedict Arnold your boy?
Because he loved the country until he didn't.
until he couldn't get rich off it.
You got to admit that without him we don't exist because of what he did there.
Absolutely true.
Gunboats on Lake Champlain,
yes,
bro.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. 1800s. All right.
We got two more. 1800s.
Santa Ana?
That's
no, right?
a guy.
I'm trying to think of like a Spanish American. Is there one from Spanish
There's
American?
nothing from the Mexican War, no.
Okay.
We had a really big war in the 1800s that's important to
Spanish-American War.
There's a
right?
bigger one.
1812?
Even bigger.
Oh, Civil War?
There you go.
Oh, Appomattox?
No. That's the surrender.
I mean, I would think that's pretty big.
It's actually I'll just tell you straight out. It's the first battle in the Civil War.
Oh, god damn it. Oh,
I'm
fuck you.
not going to remember any of this.
Hold on. What's the first battle? Oh, you cocksucker. First battle. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. When you say it,
Come on, brain. Come on, brain.
Oh, fuck. It's at the tip of my tongue. I want to say, like, Anita Hill, something like that. Hold on. I'm not
close.
I'm not
it's
too
close,
far
it's
off,
close,
right?
It's close.
You looked it up?
Starts with a B.
Hill.
Bulls Run.
Bulls Run, you fucking
/
bitch.
First Manassas.
Fucking bitch. God fucking damn it.
The last one that you guys haven't gotten, you want me to just tell you?
Tell me the war.
You said this is 1700s, no?
This is not a specific war, so to speak, but a series of wars.
French and Indian Wars?
Fought against different peoples. This is pretty much handing it to you.
Yeah. It's not French and Indian Wars.
No, this is in the 1800s.
In the 1800s.
Something happened where a bunch of people that weren't together tried to get together, and it got put a stop to.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
But I don't know the actual, like,
the name of it.
The name of the battle.
I'll give you a giveaway hint. And Tyler 2.
Oh, Tippecanoe.
The Battle of Tippecanoe. That is my number 7.
See, I didn't know where it took place. I knew it happened, but I didn't know it was Tippecanoe.
And I'll just rattle off the list for everybody at home. We got number 10 is Battle of the Bulge. Number 9 is the Siege at Yorktown. Number 8 is Bull Run / First Manassas.
This is less funny than Letterman's top 10.
I know. 7, Tippecanoe. 6, New Orleans. 5, Operation Overlord / D-Day. 4, Lexington and Concord. 3, Midway. 2, Saratoga. 1, of course, Gettysburg.
Just want to say, 2-time champ right now.
Yeah.
Two-time.
Maybe you guys can make the game next time.
Sure.
Maybe,
we
yeah,
could
we'll
try.
see.
We could try.
All right. So, it's that time of the show where we pick the next movie we're going to watch.
So I think Brian has to pick first because I think the last time Anthony picked first.
I did.
Okay.
And the time before that, I did.
I will pick first. I was torn between a biopic and another one. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick Charge of the Light Brigade.
That's a movie?
There is a movie.
When's it from?
The Light Brigade?
I believe from 1968.
Oh, sick. I'm excited for this. Cannon to the left of them, cannon to the right of them, cannon in front of them.
And what is yours?
I figured with all the Crimea shit going on, I wanted to watch it.
It's topical.
Yeah.
What's yours,
I
Ant?
went with the 1600s
Okay.
here in the colonies.
Oh.
The Crucible.
Yeah. Which one? Because aren't there multiple? I assume the Winona.
It probably is. I was thinking,
Winona
Daniel
Ryder?
Day-Lewis, Winona Ryder. I think it's like
Okay.
1996.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I haven't seen it in a very, very long time.
I watched it in high school.
So did I. That was the last time I saw it.
I think you see Winona Ryder's tushy in that movie, and that's why I liked it.
nice.
Winona Ryder, very cute, and Hollywood did her dirty.
She robbed a convenience store or something, right?
Yeah, and it's like you see shit people do now, and it's like, really? We had to end her career for that?
All right,
She's like the
Beaver.
only person in LA to ever get friggin' arrested for robbing.
They certainly don't do it anymore.
The federal government does it every day to us. So, I'm picking the 1980s historical drama, The Elephant Man.
Is that true?
It is a real story.
I have never seen The Elephant Man. David Lynch. We're getting some Lynch.
We're getting some artsy fartsy
Yeah.
shit. Cool.
This is an eclectic mix right now.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Cool.
So that's gonna do it for this episode. You guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye, okay, bye.
All right, so before we go, want to give a big thank you again to Tell 'em Steve Dave for letting us record at the TESD Town General Store. Come on down to Airport Plaza in Hazlet, New Jersey. Visit Get 'em Steve Dave, buy some merch, take a tour of the studio. It's a really cool place. Highly recommend it. Even if you're not a TESD fan, it's definitely a cool place to come down and visit and maybe discover a little something else. Follow me on Twitter at Brian Rupert. That's with 2 P's, Brian. Rupert, Ruppert. You also follow me on Letterboxd, where I rank every single movie that we watch in a nice little list. I also review every single movie I watch, and it's a good way for me to keep track of what I like and dislike. And if you like my reviews, feel free to comment. We could talk about it. If you want to tell me I'm a piece of shit because I hate Batman, or you want to talk to us about anything on the podcast, you could email us at reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com, reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. So with that, I'd like to thank you for listening and say thank you. Have a great day. Bye.